So hi, here is Guoyang and my group member Chengyuan. Today our topic will be how was the feminism in Two China? These Two China refers to a very interesting case where after the Chinese Civil War, China was divided into two parts. First is of course People's Republic of China, represented by Chinese Communist Party. The other China is ROC, Republic of China, represented by KMT in Taiwan.
Hello everyone, my name is Felix, and today I want to talk about some of the most symbolic yet complicated politic projects in socialist China. It's the so-called liberation of the woman. I will introduce this topic by using the film The Red Detachment of Women, which is called 红色娘子军. I want to explore two questions in this video. So the first one was, what did the communist revolution actually do for women? And the second was, and what structural limits remained within this liberation? In this context of socialism revolution, in the first time, women were called no longer as mother or wives. They are also defined as revolutionaries, laborers, workers, and fighters. So as Mao Zedong made it clear that Chinese women have no longer supposed by four kinds of authority: political, family, religious, and the male authority. So with the success of the land revolution, these hierarchies will gradually dismantled. As Mao said, enable every woman who can work to take her place on the labor front under the principle of equal pay for equal work. This should be done as quick as possible. In other words, women's equality was not conceived as a gift from the state, but as something they earned through labor and revolutionary participation. But for those who could not, or did not fit into the labor revolution framework, were excluded from the narrative of subjectivity. As theorist Tiny Barlow argues, representations of femininity were always produced within a political framework. What we see in the film is not the real woman, but a symbol which is redesigned to serve state ideology. Their bodies, emotions, and values legitimize the revolution rather than express individual framework. So, in the movie, around 44 minutes, there is a discussion between Hong Lian and Chonghua. They talk about why Captain Changqing was respected because he's progressive, not because he is a man. This appears to erase gender differences, but in reality, it replaces them with a new hierarchy, which is progressive means verse backward, defined entirely by the Communist Party. Political obedience becomes a measurement of manhood and womanhood. Equality becomes conditional, not universal. If we situate Chonghua within a longer cultural history, she resembles Mulan as another female warrior and hero. Mulan crossed gender boundaries, but her legitimacy comes from serving her father and her empire, which we can define as two terms, Xiao and Zhong. Now, Chonghua seems to escape from this pattern, but the logic inside it is still the same. Now, loyalty shifts from the father to the party, from the family to nation. Women may cross gender boundaries, but only in service of state goals. Chonghua does not thought herself as a man, but she becomes a gender-neutral revolutionary. Her value determined by the political usefulness, not selfhood. Okay, so now to conclude this video, that the Red Detachment Woman reveals a double-sided structure. Yes, women gain freedom from feudal household and the entire public sphere as laborers and revolutionaries. But this liberation was conditional and political mandated, and women are reintegrated into the evaluation system of state patriarchy.
After 1949, KMT escaped to Taiwan. Over there, they started the martial law, which is the dictatorship, Anybody who try to against KMT will be charged as communist. And at that background, the new president came up, Jiang Jingguo, which is the son of Jiang Jieshi, became the new president. Crocodile's appearance is never attractive, but somehow ugly, and as a meat-eating animal, if it appears in the public, it will get attacked. So this is the situations of Qiu. In 1987, Qiu went to university to escape from her family, as her family did not accept her lesbian identity. Even by doing so, she still needed to hide, as the majority of society did not accept it either. So therefore, she called herself a crocodile which always needed camouflage. During her interaction with the public, she called herself a crocodile. But when she was alone at the apartment which she rented near the university, she became the true self. Of course, in the book, there were a couple moments where she decided to reveal her true self. In her relationship with Shuiling, the senior student she met in university, she fell in love with her. The love and the desire that ignited her and encouraged her to be the true self. In the note 2, she had a scenario case which she lied on the same bed with Shuiling. In that moment, she had to think about just tell Shuiling how much she loved her. And during this paragraph, she never used the crocodile, she used the I, because the love is too strong that her soul came back. But she never decided to tell Shuiling how much she loved her, because the discrimination and the expulsion still exist. While she back to the public, she brought the crocodile back, as she needs that camouflage again. Frank Martin introduced a new concept of a stigmatic body when she was commenting on Qiu's work. This term refers to something being first stigmatized, then eventually rendered shameful. Qiu's crocodile is such a stigmatized body, as the crocodile externalized stigma, discriminations, and pressure from the society, allowing Qiu to articulate marginalized experiences through such metaphor. Through these literary devices, readers are invited to inhabit the affective world of the stigmatized, to feel what it's like to hide oneself within the society, and to be unable to disclose one's true identity during the martial law era. What is especially striking is the shift between I and the crocodile. When Qiu writes about Shuiling, she speaks as I. When she speaks about the public interaction with the public, she becomes the crocodile. The oscillations from the I to crocodile just show that it means the oscillations from the true self to the camouflage she had. And such switching just give a reader a better way to understand the injury produced by the stigma. In the democratic era, her work has become a study to a way to understand the form of oppressions the LGBTQ community experienced under the martial law era. And more than 2 decades later, the legalizations of same-sex marriage in Taiwan stands as the most meaningful tribute to Qiu.